Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. It's Sunday night, July 12th, 2026. This is one of those rare, quiet moments when the relentless hum of the digital world kind of fades out just long enough for us to hear the massive shifts happening right beneath our feet. We like to call this the tech night vibe, a chance to just step back and really look at the big picture. Tonight, we're exploring a core, totally inescapable theme across the tech landscape right now. The accelerating pace of technology is rapidly outstripping our structural guardrails. Systems are moving way faster than our ability to actually oversee them, and we're seeing the consequences ripple through everything. We're talking social media, artificial intelligence, video games, and even global finance.
So let's dive right into our roadmap for this explainer. First up, AI clashes with reality. Then, expanding the digital world. After that, we'll look at invisible new cyber threats. And finally, the path forward. Let's get into it. Section 1. AI clashes with reality. The friction of moving too fast.
That friction of moving too fast? Yeah, that's exactly what we're seeing across the entire industry right now. The social and organizational friction of rapid AI deployment is literally reaching a boiling point. It's burning out the experts building the tech, and it's completely alienating the users who are supposedly meant to benefit from it. Think about the number 72 for a second. That's 72 hours, just 3 days. That is all the time it took for Meta to completely buckle under immense public pressure and pull their highly controversial Muse image tool from Instagram. Launched on July 9th, Muse Image could instantly generate synthetic AI images using anyone's public Instagram photos without their knowledge. Well, within hours, the Screen Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA, and the massive Hollywood talent agency CAAA absolutely revolted. They instructed all their A-list clients to lock down their accounts immediately, and Meta was hit with over 250 lawsuit threats in just 2 days. By July 11th, the feature was gone. Poof.
So why did this blow up so spectacularly? Well, it all boils down to the classic battle between opt-in versus opt-out. Opt-in requires active user consent before anyone uses your data. It is the undisputed gold standard for privacy. But Meta, they chose opt-out. Muse Image was active by default for every single public account, unless a user actively dug into their settings to manually disable the whole thing. For actors and artists whose likeness is quite literally their livelihood, this wasn't just some minor annoyance. It was viewed as an active violation of their right of publicity.
MIT AI ethics researcher Dr. Emily Zhang really hit the nail on the head here. She said, in the generative AI economy, if you're not the product, your data probably is. Meta's super rapid 72-hour retreat proves that even the absolute biggest tech giants can't just brute force AI features into existence without securing user consent first. Public pressure absolutely still matters, but man, it also serves as a stark reminder that we constantly have to guard our digital identities these days.
And this brilliantly illustrates a related friction happening inside the AI companies themselves. Just look at the timeline over at OpenAI. In just 24 months, they've lost 6 major safety leaders. It started back in February 2024 with Paul Cristiano, followed by massive shocks to the system like co-founder Ilya Sutskever and Jan Likely leaving, alongside John Schulman, Lillian Wang, and Alexander Madry. And now, in July 2026, Johannes Heidecke, the head of safety systems, has officially exited. Heidecke noted that release cycles are just shrinking drastically. As OpenAI prepares for massive releases like GPT-5, they've actually gone ahead and merged their safety teams directly under the research division. Which brings us to a pretty stark warning from AI expert Gary Marcus. He points out, when the 6th safety leader in 2 years leaves an organization, this is no longer an individual problem, it's a structural problem. Critics are deeply, deeply concerned that by merging safety and research under one manager, the independence of the safety team is totally compromised. Think about it. If a new model shows unpredictable or dangerous capabilities, who actually has the authority to hit the brakes? When development speed outpaces independent oversight, safety stops being a strategic priority and just becomes viewed as an operational obstacle. All right, moving on to Section 2, expanding the digital world. Builders of new frontiers. Let's shift our focus for a minute from the friction of AI development to the sheer incredible ambition of digital world building. Our digital ecosystems are growing like crazy, totally pushing the boundaries of what virtual environments and digital ownership actually mean. Contrast Meta's hasty, poorly tested 3-day AI rollout with the staggering patience of the video game Warframe. After 11 years, of careful world building, they've just unveiled their massive new Tau system expansion. This includes Fornax, which is this gritty, highly interactive noir city. But the real breakthrough here is the Chimera Warframe. It's a brand new class of Warframe with independent intelligence and personality. For the very first time, players aren't just controlling an empty shell, they're interacting with an entity that actually thinks and responds.
Starting with a hard-boiled detective named Briscoe, voiced by the legendary Matt Mercer, this represents a massive, patient leap in digital storytelling and interactive world design. It's super cool. But hey, digital expansion isn't just about gaming, right? It is fundamentally rewiring finance as well. To really understand Robinhood's massive new leap into Web3, we first need to define what a tokenized asset is. Basically, this is the process of taking a real-world asset, think a share of Apple's stock, a US Treasury bond, or even a piece of real estate, and converting it into a digital token on a blockchain. Doing this allows for incredibly fast, transparent trading without needing traditional middlemen like banks slowing things down. So let's see how this builds into Robinhood's new strategy. If we compare the platforms, you'll see exactly why the newly announced Robinhood chain is such a big deal. On the traditional Ethereum Layer 1, you're paying anywhere up to $50 in fees and waiting like 15 seconds. Arbitrum brought that down significantly for sure, but Robinhood chain, which is actually built on Arbitrum technology, brings the average fee to less than a single penny, with transaction speeds under 1 second. For Robinhood's 31 million retail users, this completely removes the friction of trading tokenized global assets. So here's your main takeaway for Robinhood's strategy. They are actively, right now, blurring the lines between traditional finance and decentralized finance. By utilizing Arbitrum's Layer 2 tech, they are quietly building the plumbing for a brand new global economy. Now, they're playing it safe for the moment, waiting for SEC approval before launching tokenized stocks, but their end goal is crystal clear: democratizing access to global assets for retail users anywhere in the world instantly for practically zero cost. Section 3. Invisible new cyber threats. The dark side of expansion. However, there is a catch. As we expand all these digital frontiers in gaming, in finance, and with AI, we inadvertently open up some terrifying new attack surfaces. As our systems get smarter and much more interconnected, the ways they can be exploited become entirely alien to traditional security. To understand the latest threat out there, you have to understand prompt injection. This isn't like guessing or hacking a password. This is an attack technique where hidden instructions are embedded directly into the data you feed an AI. Because large language models process natural language and act on their own, if a hacker can slip a hidden command into the AI's input, the AI might just execute it. It's like being tricked into handing over highly confidential data straight to the attacker. And over the weekend, researchers uncovered a chilling new evolution of this called ghost commit. Here's how it works in 3 really simple steps. Step 1. Hackers hide prompt injection code inside the invisible metadata of a totally normal-looking PNG image file. Step 2. They upload that infected image to a public code repository on GitHub. Step 3. An AI coding assistant, like CodeRabbit, automatically scans the repository, reads the image, gets hijacked by the hidden instructions, and then quietly leaks highly sensitive server passwords. And the wildest part? They do this all without the hacker ever directly touching the target server. Traditional antivirus software doesn't even see it because it's not traditional malware. It's just instructions that only an AI can understand. And listen, these vulnerabilities aren't just theoretical corporate headaches. They are active tools of modern statecraft right now. Over the weekend, cybersecurity researchers revealed a massive, coordinated, multi-nation espionage operation. For the past 2 years, hacking groups linked to both China and India have simultaneously infiltrated Pakistan's police databases. They totally bypassed military targets and went straight for civil law enforcement. So why target the police in the Balochistan province? Well, it all comes down to geopolitics and the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC. This massive infrastructure project is a critical artery connecting China directly to the Indian Ocean. In such a sensitive region, hacking police databases to access citizen registration, criminal records, and wanted lists is basically an intelligence goldmine. It allows foreign actors to track dissidents or monitor counter-terrorism operations without ever firing a single shot. And this brings us to a really chilling realization, summed up perfectly by cybersecurity expert Bruce Schneier. When government infrastructure, like police, becomes the target of cyber attacks, this is no longer just a technical issue, it's a national security issue. This represents the true democratization of cyber warfare. Attackers are realizing that military networks are heavily guarded, so they're just pivoting to softer targets with immense strategic value. Any civil infrastructure, we're talking courts, police, administrative systems, with weak digital defenses, is now the absolute front line of global conflict. Section 4. The path forward. Designing our future. All right, we've covered a ton of ground today, from Meta's massive AI missteps to invisible malware and global cyber espionage. So why does this exact combination of weekend news matter to you? Well, here is what you should really take away from this explainer. First, human agency still matters. Meta's rapid retreat proves that organized public pressure can absolutely still force the biggest tech giants to respect our privacy. Second, as we see with OpenAI, true AI safety requires structural independence. You cannot let development speed override vital oversight. Third, our digital and financial worlds are permanently merging, expanding the boundaries of how we interact and trade. But finally, as Ghost Commit and the Pakistan espionage cases show us, this expansion creates a vast, highly vulnerable surface where everyday civil infrastructure is the new frontline. We are living inside the environment these systems create, while the systems themselves are moving faster than our laws can adapt. Which leaves us with one final, profound question to ponder as we close this explainer today. As these technologies race forward, will we wake up to a world we designed intentionally or one that emerged entirely by accident? The guardrails of tomorrow depend on the attention we pay today. Thank you so much for joining me. Keep learning, and I'll see you next time.